Tonight, baseball is back. LSU had its baseball media day last Friday, and we'll break down all the news from that day. And now, forgive us if this sounds familiar, but after LSU plays in the Citrus Bowl, Dave Aranda gets a new contract, and the Tigers have a new offensive coordinator. We'll break down those developments. And Will Wade secured another recruit, LSU basketball, which sees the Tigers skyrocket up the class rankings. We have a lot to get to tonight, including some breaking news, so let's run it down. Hello and welcome to the Rundown. I'm Reggie Chatman. We're actually going to start with some breaking news tonight. According to Tiger Rag's Cody Worsham, LSU head coach Will Wade has dismissed freshman forwards Galen Alexander and Mayan Kerr from the team. According to sources, Wade has also suspended freshman guard Brandon Rochelle and sophomore Wade Sims. The reasons for these suspensions and dismissals are unknown at this time. We'll update the story as we learn more on LSUnow.com. Now, switching gears, it's that time of year again, people. LSU baseball is officially back. LSU had its media day on Friday, the first chance for fans to see what their team would look like this upcoming season. Our Caroline Fenton was there and has more.
And Daniel Cabrera had the opportunity to play in the big leagues this year. Instead, he stayed at home right in Baton Rouge to play as an LSU Tiger, something head coach Paul Maneri is very excited about.
He's an outstanding ball player. He's got a great athletic body. He's strong for a freshman. Runs pretty good, throws well from the outfield.
Although he's young, he's mighty. Maneri says Cabrera will be confident and ready on opening day.
And I think you can put him in the category with the LeMayus and the Bregmans and the Antoine Duplanises that were ready to play as a freshman when they arrived at LSU. I think he's ready to help us right out of the gate.
The head coach said Cabrera will be starting at left field, but we shouldn't expect him to stay in the... We can see this multi-skilled rookie begin the season on Friday, February 16th, under the lights in Alex Box. Caroline Fenton, Tiger TV Sports.
Now, let's move from the diamond to the hardwood. The LSU Lady Tigers played host to number 10 Volunteers of Tennessee on Sunday, looking to add a statement win to their NCAA tournament resume. Tiger TV Sports reporter Alex Yandel was there.
Lady Tigers scored a big upset Sunday at the PMAC over number 10 Tennessee when they defeated the Volunteers 70-59. Chloe Jackson led the team with 21 points to its 900th win in program history.
I guess I was just in mode where I just felt like I had the shot and I just knew I could knock it down. So just the confidence. I had confidence. So.
With her 21-point performance Sunday, which included perfect 6 for 6 at the free throw line, Jackson has now eclipsed 20 points in 6 of her last 8 games. She also added 2 steals and dished out 4 assists. Other significant contributors to the Lady Tigers' victory were sophomore forward Ayanna Mitchell and senior guard Regine Lewis, who collectively totaled 24 rebounds and 26 points. With the win, the Lady Tigers moved to 5-3 in conference play and are now tied with Tennessee for 6th place in the SEC. After the game, LSU head coach Nikki Fargas underscored the importance of mental toughness, especially on the defensive end.
The only thing that we kept putting on the board was one possession at a time. You have to do this, and we had to get defensive stops. And I thought that really made the difference in the second and the third quarter, that we carried that same mental toughness and that same just grit about us to get those defensive stops.
The Lady Tigers continue their journey through conference play Thursday, February 1st at home against the Georgia Bulldogs. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Alex Yandel.
Not as successful in their matchup with number 19 Auburn. This game got out of hand quickly as Auburn's Mustafa Heron started the game in attack mode. First quarter, hitting a 3 from the wing, and a couple possessions later from almost the same spot does it again. He would score 16 of his game-high 21 points in the first 4:43 of the game as he was 6 for 6 from the floor, including 4 3-pointers. But it wasn't just him. Auburn would hit 14 threes on the night as they would light it up from behind the three-point line all night long, creating a big lead and keeping it. But this last play pretty much sums it up for LSU. Ball was stolen as Auburn is able to convert it with an alley-oop on the other end of the floor. This game was not pretty. LSU blown out 95-70 was the final.
Now, Will Wade was obviously very disappointed by that performance, but something he will be happy with is to be able to say that he was able to wrangle in another top-level recruit for the Tigers in the 2018 recruiting class. Wade was able to land Emmett Williams, a 5-star power forward out of Florida. The commitment sees the Tigers class jump up to number 3 right behind Duke and Oregon. In addition to Williams, Darius Days, Jafonte Smart, and Naz Reid, all either 4- or 5-star recruits respectively, will be making their way to Baton Rouge next season. Pairing those guys with likely returners like Skylar Mays, Brandon Sampson, and Tremont Waters could really turn some heads in the SEC and across the country come next season. Now, we move to news in the NBA and some sad news for the local franchise, the New Orleans Pelicans. Star big man Boogie Cousins is out for the rest of the season with a torn Achilles after rupturing it in Friday's win over the Houston Rockets. Boogie was averaging 25.2 points, 12.9 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, and has earned himself an All-Star Game starting spot. The Pelicans were sitting in the 6th seed in the Western Conference at the time of the injury. For the Pels to have success post-Boogie, Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday will have to step up and fill a huge void that Cousins' departure leaves. Still to come, LSU has replaced its offensive coordinator for the 2nd straight summer. I'll be joined by Lily Fontenot to discuss more. The Rundown will be right back after this. Another offseason full of coaching turnover for LSU football. Last season, defensive coordinator Dave Aranda signed a new contract, and the Tigers got a new offensive coordinator. Well, both have happened again. We'll start on the defensive side of the ball. Dave Aranda is seen as some of the brightest defensive minds in college football, if not the brightest. For the past 6 seasons, Aranda coached teams that have finished in the top 15 in total defense, going back all the way to his time at Utah State. Aranda penned this new deal earlier this month to what is expected to be the tune of 4 years, $2.5 million per year. Head coach Ed Orgeron relies heavily on Aranda, so it makes sense to see LSU pull the right strings to keep one of the best in the business here in Baton Rouge. Now, on the other side of the ball, LSU has said goodbye to old offensive coordinator Matt Canada. And Orgeron has brought in a new man. Tiger TV sports reporter Lily Fontenot is here. Lily, hello and welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me here, Reggie. I'm really excited to be here for a show this semester. Yep. Well, as you were saying, that new man is really not so new at all. Steve Ensminger is not a stranger to LSU football, having been a quarterback here in the 70s.
A new year, a new offense for LSU. The Tigers will have to rebuild their offense from the ground up after losing quarterback Danny Etling, running back Jarius Geis, and most surprisingly, their offensive coordinator Matt Canada, who split ways with the team after spending only 1 season at LSU. Former LSU quarterback Steve Ensminger will lead the Tiger offense into the 2018 season after being promoted from tight ends coach.
Let me say this, okay? I'm so excited about this opportunity, okay? It's a tremendous honor to be named the offensive coordinator at LSU.
Ensminger has not been a full-time offensive coordinator since his 1998 season at Clemson, which is the year that some LSU players were born. However, Ensminger did have an impressive run as LSU's interim offensive coordinator in the 2016 season under a newly promoted Coach Orgeron.
I remember asking him after the first game, I said, Steve, do you know we set an SEC record in the first game? He goes, man, all I know is that we won. And that tells me a lot about Steve Ensminger.
Fans and critics alike are looking forward to see what the future holds for Ensminger and his new offense.
It's the best time of my life. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I know this, hey, that's what makes coaching special.
Despite the 20-year gap since he was last an offensive coordinator, Ensminger has been chosen as the man to lead the offense forward.
Now, Lily, of course, I have to ask you a follow-up question. What differences do you think that we can see from the old offense with Matt Canada here to the new offensive under Ensminger?
Well, Reggie, I personally think that we'll see less motion before the snap and fewer jet sweeps, both of which Canada was known for. I think Ensminger will likely revert to what most people consider to be a traditional offense.
Now, you've been covering this story. Do you personally believe that this was a good decision on Ed Orgeron's part?
You know, I think it was a risky choice, but if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, I don't think too many people would be surprised if it doesn't turn out so good. Well,
let's hope that it ends up going really well. Lily, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll have more rundown after the break. Welcome back to the show. We're going to end the show with a little bit of fun news. At the New Orleans Pelicans game against the Houston Rockets on Friday, one fan dressed up in team gear and snuck onto the court for the shoot-around before the game, and needless to say, it went viral on social media. Here's a quick look at the video. Obviously, Stretching has the full fit on. The full fit with the hood and the shoes and the pants. And you actually watch here, he calls for the ball, and he actually gets it. And after a little bit of pleading, gets a whole shot up before the police were able to come out and escort him back to his seat, which actually happened to be courtside. So he was in a good position to actually handle all of this. It's unbelievable to me that he was able to do that. But and also in some other quick news, Blake Griffin just got traded to the Pistons. That's also big. The whole NBA is changing, and I'm here for it. The All-Star break's coming up soon. I'm really excited about it, even though we won't see 2 Pelicans in the lineup. Anyway, that's all the time we have for the rundown tonight. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at @TTV_sports and myself at Reggie Chatman. I'll see you guys next week.